Hey everybody, today I'm going to be doing a movie review on Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Since this is a review, obviously there are going to be spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, I highly suggest you watch it. But if you're on the fence of whether or not to watch it, go ahead and watch this review. There might be some spoilers in the review, but honestly nothing can replace seeing the movie from yourself. With all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the review. So the visuals of the movie were fine, the costumes were fine, the scene compositions were fine. Sometimes the scenes would split in between two different characters or conversations to tell a joke visually. I like this because it made the jokes being told in the scene even funnier to me, because like the other part of the scene, the other party, was just completely ignoring the craziness happening on the other side of the room. Talking about the locations, they feel pretty much the same for the first 2/3 or 3/4 of the movie. It looks like they only had like 4 or 5 locations to film at, but in the later half of the movie, later quarter or third, whatever, there are way more locations. There's like 5 unique locations on the later part of the movie. My favorite scene visually is the beach scene. Seeing all those soldiers at the end and ready to fight and charge on that castle was super cool. Definitely my favorite scene. So I think that the audio of a movie is really important to get right, mostly so you can actually hear the actors. This movie's audio is fine. You can hear all the actors' lines. For me, it's a little hard to understand what they're saying because of their accents, their English accents. I'm not English, so I watched the movie with subtitles on. But other than that, I never had a problem hearing the actors. I don't remember the movie's soundtrack at all, so I think that speaks to the quality of the music. So the movie's editing was sort of jarring for me. It was sometimes confusing to tell what was happening where and like what characters were involved, but that might also be because I never really bothered to try and learn the names of the characters. Or it could also be, like I said before, all the locations look the same, so that was a bit of a downside. There weren't any awkward cuts or camera movements that felt off or anything like that though. But yeah, the editing did kind of contribute to my detriment of understanding the movie's plot, but it's a comedy movie, so who really cares about the plot? The movie's characters are fine. I think the characters are easy to empathize with, which made them easily likable to me. I think it's really important to have likable characters in a lighthearted movie, otherwise you're just sitting there being annoyed by somebody for like an hour and a half, and that's no fun. The characters in this movie, they didn't have any personality development. I think that's fine. Their purpose was to be vessels for comedy, and they did that, so no character development needed. The story was really basic, but it was good enough for moving the plot along so that the comedy could be communicated. The comedy, which is the main focus of the movie, was really great in my opinion. I really liked how the jokes weren't super obvious like a lot of comedy I think is today. You had to think a tiny bit about some of the jokes, which, you know, that could be bad for some people, but I like that. Some of the comedy was pretty irreverent compared to modern day standards, but I found that quite refreshing. I especially liked the monologue from the peasants in the mud. It was really funny commentary on societal systems of yesteryear and today. Writing wise, still my favorite scene is the beach scene. Just the comedic irony of the ending of the movie building up to this huge moment where the knights and all these people are gonna storm this castle, and then the hero just gets carted off to jail. That's hilarious to me. So my too long didn't watch for this movie is that this is a great comedy movie. It doesn't let anything get in the way of making great jokes, and those jokes have stood the test of time. Keep in mind, this movie was released in 1975, and it's still pretty well liked to this day, and made some great memes as well. So that's a pretty notable claim to fame in my opinion. Overall, this is a great movie that me and plenty of others love. I think you should check it out, and that's it. Be sure to comment down below with any suggestions or thoughts, and I'll see ya in the next video.